Chef B, I need your help. Can you show me how to make a Southern turkey wing dinner?
Yes, Kai. I'll show you how to make Miss Edna Mae's Southern slow-cooked turkey wing dinner. Let's get started.
I'm ready, Chef.
Great. The first thing you want to do is season your wings. I've used the Miss Edna Mae's Premium Poultry Seasoning as well as the Miss Edna Mae's Premium Seasoning Salt. Marinate at least 2 hours, but overnight is better.
Okay, got it.
Next, you want to sear your wings in a pan with just enough oil to cover the bottom on a medium-high heat, about 350 degrees.
I hear the word searing used a lot when people talk about cooking, but I've never been fully clear as to what exactly it is. How do you know when you've done a sear correctly, if that makes sense?
It does make sense. Remember, searing is sealing in moisture and flavor, and you should get a light, crisp crust like this.
Oh, okay. Searing seals in flavor and moisture.
Yes, ma'am, and that creates a more even cooking and tenderness.
Okay, thanks, Chef.
Listen, that's what this is all about. Not just doing, but understanding what you're doing. Okay, we finished searing. Fill the pan 3/4 full with water and then cover and cook at 400 degrees for the first 30 minutes. Okay, now let's make some gravy. To start, pour off all of your excess oil. Make sure that you leave in the little food particles that are at the bottom of the pan and then drizzle in water. Do this on a medium heat. This is called deglazing, in which you gently stir while the steam lifts the food particles from the bottom of the pan. This is a very important part of getting your gravy started. Keep your heat at medium and add in a mixture of 3 tablespoons of flour and 1 cup of water. Stir every 30 seconds for the first 2 minutes. This ensures that the flour mix stays smooth and doesn't clump. At this point, pause your stir and let come to a slow bubble. Once you have a slow bubble, stir. Stir for about 30 seconds and then repeat this step again. Next, bring to a medium bubble and stir. Next, reduce the heat to medium-low and stir every 2 to 3 minutes. Next is the country fried cabbage. Cut the cabbage into quarter-like sections. Once you have all of your cabbage cut into sections, you want to cut the sections into about 2-inch size pieces. Okay, all of the cabbage is done, and it's been about 2 to 3 minutes, which means that the gravy needs to be stirred. And you can see at this point it's starting to thicken. I'm going to add in a little salt and pepper at this point. Kai, how are you doing? Is everything making sense for you so far?
I feel good about everything, Chef. I was a little nervous about the gravy, but you really simplified it.
Okay, perfect. Let the gravy come to another medium boil and stir. At this point, you can see it's almost ready. Reduce the heat and stir every 1 to 2 minutes. Stirring until you get that perfect consistency. And at this point, a few more minutes and you'll have the perfect consistency. Now it's time for the country fried cabbage. Drizzle in extra virgin olive oil into a medium-high heat pan and add in your cabbage. Saute the cabbage for about 2 minutes. And we're doing this to break down some of the toughness of the cabbage leaves, which will speed up the cooking process. Now I'm going to add in just enough water to barely cover the top of the cabbage. Now cover the cabbage and let them cook until tender. Time to check in on my turkey wings and see how they're coming along. They are by no means ready at this point. The fork test is used as a gauge to see how much they've cooked. And you'll know they're done when the fork glides all the way through easily. It's time to check and see how the cabbage is coming along. And at this point, we can see that they are starting to cook down and get tender. These will cook another 20 to 30 minutes. After another 25 minutes, you check to see, you give a quick taste test. They aren't ready, so I'll check them again in 25 more minutes. The water has cooked down, so I'll add enough to slightly cover the cabbage. It's been 20 minutes, and I'm going to check in on the cabbage again. And these are perfect. Give your broth a taste test and make sure your seasonings is on point. Turn the heat off, cover, and let them sit. It's time to do the creamy mashed potatoes. I'm going to peel 3 pounds of potatoes and put them in a bowl of water so they don't brown. This also releases the starch from the potatoes for a cleaner taste and less starch consumption. Cut the potatoes into smaller pieces so they cook quicker. Once the potatoes are all cut, I'm going to bring the water to a boil before putting them in. Let them cook for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'll give them a fork check test. They need another 15 or 20 minutes. And this time, the fork slides all the way through easily. I poured out all of the water, and now the potatoes go into a bowl. While the potatoes are piping hot, I pour in a half a cup of warm, heavy whipping cream, a cup of whole milk, a tablespoon of butter, and start mashing. It may seem like too much liquid at first, but as the potatoes break down, they will absorb that liquid. It's important to do the potatoes piping hot and use warm milk and cream. The masher until the potatoes are broken down and then use a spoon. Add salt to taste and another tablespoon of butter. Continue to stir until they are smooth and fluffy.
My mashed potatoes never come out good, but these look great.
And now yours will. Let's do some crispy fried okra. Start with a quick batter station. Beat 2 eggs mixed with a teaspoon of water. Next, combine a cup of self-rising flour, a cup of self-rising cornmeal, and a tablespoon and a half of seasoning salt. Blend together and set to the side. I have about a half pound of fresh okra that I'm going to cut into about half-inch size pieces.
I love fried okra.
Yes, and the key is to make sure that it's really crispy. Add the okra to the egg mixture and toss. Coat the okra really good and then let it soak for 10 minutes. Heat your oil to 375 in a deep fryer or in a pot if you don't have a deep fryer. Take your okra and add it into the cornmeal flour mixture. Once all of your okra is in the mixture, coat it really well and then let that set for about 5 minutes. I want to make sure that it is nice and coated as much as possible because this is where the crispiness is going to come in. I've got my okra ready, so now it's time to add to the fryer. I want to make sure that when I'm adding in my okra that I keep it in a single layer. Putting the okra on top of each other will not allow all of the okra to get fully crispy. I've got my first batch of okra ready, so now we're going to put it down into the oil and let it fry until it's golden and crispy, like so. I'm going to get these onto a towel so they can drain and continue to crisp as they cool. I want to make sure that I've spread them out so they can cool properly and then add a little salt to taste.
Those look amazing.
They do. Time to make the Southern hot water cornbread. Start with a half cup of self-rising flour and a cup of hot water. Drizzle a small amount of the hot water into the cornmeal and stir. Repeat this until the cornmeal is at the perfect consistency. Don't want to add all the water in at one time because you risk getting it too thin. When done mixing, allow the meal to sit a few minutes to fully bloom. Heat half-inch deep oil to medium-high heat. Use a tablespoon to scoop in the cornmeal mix, 2 scoops per cornbread patty. You cook these like you would pancakes. Wait till you see the little bubbles on top and the brown around the edges and flip them over. Once they are done in the middle and golden brown on each side, they're ready. Hot water cornbread is just as delicious, but much quicker than making regular cornbread. But make sure you get the crispy to moisture balance perfected. And the hot water cornbread is done.
Wow, this is amazing.
So, Kai, do you feel good about everything that you've learned today?
I feel good about everything, Chef T, especially the mashed potatoes. I've always had problems with how my mashed potatoes turn out, but now I feel good about making them.
That's awesome. And also what's awesome is now you're a Miss Edna Mae's VIP foodie. And be sure to let me know how everything turns out.